But it's not just marriage, because in addition to the divorce, now, how long has it been since you've seen your children?
It's been over a year, and she will not let me speak or talk to the children. The court tried to say I need to go. The only way I can see the kids is through if someone from the state is there, and she can bring the kids to this location, but someone from the state has to be there, where I can have to meet with the children in front of another state family court official.
So why is that? I mean, you're not the one who wanted a divorce.
Right.
You're not the one who assaulted her. You had a divorce forced upon you, and you do not get to see your kids. Why? What is the rationale behind the state to say that this is actually okay? That they have that authority to do that, to keep a father from the children, or to say to the father, you can see your children, but on the grounds that we stipulate. Any idea why the state would say something like that?
There is no rationale. In fact, the state appointed a guardian ad litem. Immediately, I met with him in his office. Then my ex-wife met with him. Immediately, he did not like me. He took Clarissa's side in the whole situation.
So for the people that don't know, what is the purpose of a guardian ad litem?
The guardian ad litem is supposed to represent the best interest of the children, and these custody cases and matters that come before the state. So they advise the court on what they think is the best interest of the children. So the guardian ad litem, he didn't like the fact that I was a conservative Christian, and we had some conversations about politics and briefly about politics in his office. He even told the court that Mr. Harper is reading the Bible to his children in front of the first custody hearing. Then I challenged the results of the first custody hearing up into the Chesterfield County Circuit Court. But in the first custody hearing, he told the court that Mr. Harper is reading the Bible to his children. He interfered with one of the witnesses that I subpoenaed from one of the children's daycare, and it was and the name of the daycare was a Christian child care, and they all it turned against me. But there's no rationale for the state to do that. They say it's for the best interest of the children to have a guardian ad litem,
right?
But it's not for the best interest of the children.
So the best interest of the child doctrine, and it is a doctrine, there is nothing objective about it. Because what one person says is the best interest of the child, somebody else might say that's not the best interest of the child, this is the best interest of the child. So this is basically the best interest of the child can be manipulated to get the result you want and an outcome. And we've had this argument even recently just down in Texas, in the Texas legislature. There's a family law attorney who's on the Juvenile Justice and Family Issues Committee, and she says we have the Hawley factors. Well, the Hawley factors are some among the many factors that they try to use to determine it. But I like what you said, is that what he thinks is the best interest of the child. Because when you talk about the best interest of the child, number one, the best interest of the child is to grow up in an intact home with his or her natural mother and father.
Correct.
And natural mother and father should learn to accept that and get along and everything else. We hope love each other and everything, but the best interest of the child is to be raised in an intact family with his or her natural mother and father in almost every instance.
Correct.
So when the state is, to me, it's taking a position that says we're going to disregard the best interest of the child, the best interest from, as I just defined it, and we're going to make up a new definition.
Correct.
Is that what you find? That's the way that you see that what they've done?
Absolutely. They ignore that the best interest, and studies bear this out, the best interest of the child for children is to be raised in a two-parent home, intact home. Right. They ignore that. I mentioned that in court, and actually my wife's attorney chuckled and laughed when I mentioned that, because what they have is, I call it a divorce racket. It's a culture of divorce. Right. So they actually basically want people to get divorced so they can bring these cases to court, and the parents have to pay all this money to hire attorneys. I didn't hire an attorney because I know that the custody of my children comes from God, not from man. So why do I need to hire an attorney to explain that?
Right. And again, that's a religious liberty issue as well at the same time. You've done nothing that has harmed the children. But you mentioned the divorce racket. How profitable is the divorce industry for these attorneys and the guardian ad litems and the child custody evaluators and the judges and the state and everything else? Is it? I mean, it is a racket. It's worse than the mafia.
Right.